My name is Melody. I'm 36 years old, and on the afternoon of April 12th, 2024, I died on a stage in front of my entire team. It was a Saturday, sound check for the big Easter service. I was a worship pastor, not just a worship pastor. I was the worship pastor at Radiant Lies, one of the biggest churches in Texas. We had a big production, a 20-person band, a light show you'd see at a rock concert, fog machines, the works. My life was fast. I had 2 little kids, Noah and Lily, a husband, Ben, who played drums in the band. My life was a calendar of rehearsals, writing sessions, platform meetings, and trying to get Lily to soccer practice on time. I loved God. I really did. But I also loved the stage. I loved the roar of the crowd. I loved the numbers, seeing our new album climb the Christian music charts. I loved the feeling of 1,000 phones lighting up the room during the slow song. I told myself it was all for Jesus. I really believed it. That Saturday, I was stressed. Pastor Dave wanted the Easter opener to be explosive. We'd been rehearsing a new arrangement of one of my songs. It was high energy, lots of drums, lots of bass. I had my in-ear monitors in. I remember tasting the coffee I'd just chugged. It was bitter. I looked at my sound guy, Chad. I motioned to my mic. Just give me a little more air on the top, Chad, and push the reverb. I want it to sound big. I raised my guitar. I stepped on the pedal, and the distortion kicked in. All right, Ben, I said to my husband on the drums. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. I hit the first chord, and then a pop. It wasn't a sound in the room. It was a pop times inside my head asterisk, like a string snapping on a violin. I tasted metal. My vision, it just folded in on itself. The last thing I heard was my guitar making a terrible feedback times, squeal times through the speakers. And then silence. A total, perfect, beautiful silence. The pain was gone. The stress about the Easter service, gone. The bitter coffee taste, gone. I felt light. I opened my eyes, and I was floating. I was up in the rafters, looking down. I could see everything. I saw my body, me, lying on the stage, tangled up with my guitar. I saw Ben leap over his drum kit. He was screaming my name. Melody, Melody, no. I saw Kyle, our bass player, frozen, just staring. I saw Chad, the sound guy, running out of the booth, his headset falling off. I felt strange. I wasn't scared. I was just watching. It was like watching a movie. I felt this weird times peace asterisk. I tried to reach for my husband. I wanted to tell him, Ben, it's okay. I'm right here. I'm okay. But my hand just went through the air. I wasn't times there asterisk. I looked down at them panicking. Someone was doing CPR on my body. It looked violent, messy. I just wanted the noise to stop. And as soon as I thought it, it did. The scene on the stage, it started to get small, like I was flying backwards, really fast. The colors of the purple and blue stage lights just blurred. They swirled together and then they just faded. Everything went dark, but not a scary dark. It was a soft, quiet dark, like being wrapped in a thick, warm blanket. I was alone, but I wasn't lonely. I thought about my kids. I thought about Noah's little drawing on the fridge. I thought about Lily's laugh. I felt a little sad, like I was going to miss them. It's not your time to miss them. The voice, it wasn't a voice I times heard times with my ears. It was a sound I times felt times in my chest. It was a note, a perfect, single, beautiful note. I'm a musician. My whole life, I've been chasing the perfect sound, the perfect mix, the perfect melody. This, asterisk, this times was it. It was the sound of a cello and a waterfall and a baby's first breath, all at once. It was a chord that held times everything, times together. And it was coming from a light far away. The light got brighter. And as it got brighter, the time sound times got richer. It wasn't just one note. It was a symphony. It was music so deep and so full that it made my times, soul times, vibrate. It wasn't a me song. It wasn't a my victory song. It was a hymn song. The light washed over me. It was warm. It wasn't blinding. It was welcoming. And then I saw him. He was standing in the middle of the light. The light was times coming, times from him. It was Jesus. But I have to tell you, he didn't look like any painting. There was no stained glass. There was no long, flowing robe. He just looked real. He was a man. But he was also the music, the colors, the air, everything. He wasn't on a stage. There were no lights on him. He times was times the light. He looked at me. And when he looked at me, my whole life just laid bare. It wasn't like he was judging me. It was like he was a doctor looking for the sickness. I didn't cry with joy. I was ashamed. I suddenly saw myself, my life. I saw all the times I was on stage, and I was thinking about my voice, how I sounded, if the crowd liked me. I saw the times I got jealous of another worship leader. I saw the times I pushed my band to be perfect, not for God, but for me, for the brand, for the album. I saw my pride. It was like a black, ugly thing all over me. I wanted to hide. I've never felt so seen. I couldn't look at him. I just looked down. I felt small. Melody, his voice, it wasn't thunder. It was quiet and kind. It was the sound of the note. Melody, look at me. I looked up. Tears were, I don't know if I had eyes, but I was crying. His eyes, they weren't angry. They were sad. He was so sad. You have a beautiful voice, he said. You've sung so many songs. I just nodded. I couldn't speak. But so few of them, he said, were for me. I broke. I crumpled. I'm sorry, I whispered. I'm so sorry. I thought it was all for you. You thought, he said gently, but you did not know. He was quiet for a second. The music, his music, it was playing all around us. I want to show you something, he said. He waved his hand. And the beautiful light, it faded. We weren't in that peaceful place anymore. It was dark and cold. I could hear noise, not music. It was chaotic. It was awful. Where are we? I asked. I was scared. Listen, he said. I listened, and my blood ran cold. I heard music. It was my song. It was the big opener for our Easter service, the one I was just practicing. I heard the drums, the bass, the guitars. I heard my own voice. But it was twisted. It was empty. What is this? I asked. This isn't right. Look, Jesus said. He showed me a vision. It was my church, Radiant Life. I saw the congregation. A Sunday morning, I was on stage. The lights were flashing. The fog machines were on full blast. I was singing, I am victorious. I am a conqueror. I am the king of my world. I saw the people. They were ecstatic, hands in the air, jumping, crying. But Jesus let me see what he saw. I saw a young girl in the front row. Her eyes were closed. She wasn't thinking about God. She was thinking about being on stage. She was worshiping the feeling. She was worshiping the experience. I saw a man in the back. His arms were crossed. He wasn't worshiping. He was critiquing. He was thinking, the guitar solo is too long. The vocals are a little pitchy. I saw demons. I know it sounds crazy, but I saw them. They weren't red with horns. They were like shadows, like patches of ego. And they were clinging to the people. They were whispering to the girl in the front, yes, feel that, you are the star. To the man in the back, yes, your opinion is right. You are smarter than them. To me, on the stage, listen to them cheer, Melody. They love you. You are so good. I watched, horrified, as these shadows fed on the energy. They fed on the pride. They fed on the emotion. The worship, it wasn't going up to heaven. It was just staying in the room, bouncing off the walls, feeding the darkness. But But they love you, I cried, turning to Jesus. They are singing to you. Jesus looked at me. His heart was broken. No, Melody, he said so softly. They are singing to themselves. They love the feeling you give them. They love the show. They love the music. They have become addicted to the emotion, not to me. Your music, it makes them feel spiritual. It makes them feel good, but it does not make them holy. It does not make them change. It does not lead them to me. It leads them to you. I couldn't breathe. But what about hell? I whispered, because the title of my song was about defeating hell. Jesus. He looked even sadder. I want to show you, he said. The vision of the church dissolved. We were somewhere else. It was a vast, gray, empty place. It was a void. And in the void, there were people, millions of them, but they weren't connected. They weren't talking. Each one was on their own stage, under their own spotlight. They were singing. They were singing to themselves, in mirrors. They were singing my songs. I am the victor. I am the conqueror. My life, my way. I am, I am, I am. It was hell. There was no fire. There was no pitchforks. There was just self. A universe of I, a world of me, a prison where everyone was their own God, and they were miserable. They were tormented by their own ego, their own pride, their own self-obsession. This, Jesus said, his voice echoing in the emptiness, is where those songs lead. Hell is not just a place of fire, Melody. It is the center of the self. It is the kingdom of I. And your music, your beautiful, loud, popular music, it was its anthem. It was the soundtrack. You gave them music to sing as they walked straight into this. I have no words for the horror, the shame. I fell at his feet. I was sobbing, not crying, sobbing from the bottom of my soul. I didn't know, I screamed. I didn't know. I didn't know. I just wanted to sing. I wasted it. I cried into the ground. I wasted my whole life. I built it all for me. I looked up at him. I'm a fraud. I led them. I led them to hell. I wanted to die, to just stop existing. I couldn't bear the shame. Jesus, he knelt. He knelt in the dust of that awful place. And he put his hand on my head. The music, the real music, it started to come back, softly. Yes, he said, you did. You were blind. You were singing in the dark. But, he said, I came to give sight to the blind. He looked at me, and the sadness was gone. And there was just this ocean of love. But what about true worship? I whispered. I don't even know what it is. He smiled. He closed his eyes. Listen, he said. And he played me something. He didn't point. He just let me hear. I heard a new sound. It was so quiet. It was the sound of an old woman in a hospital bed somewhere in a country I've never seen. She was dying. She was alone. She couldn't sing. She could barely breathe. But I heard her. She was whispering, Jesus, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me, a sinner. That's it. That was the whole song. And I watched as that whisper, it exploded in heaven. It shook the foundations. It was louder than my entire Easter production. I saw armies of angels stop and turn to listen to her. I saw the Father on his throne, and he smiled. The light from that one broken, humble whisper, it pushed back the darkness. It was the most beautiful, the most powerful thing I have ever heard. I I was in awe. I looked at Jesus. I never wrote a song, I whispered. For her. No, Jesus said. You wrote songs for the crowd. The churches, they are full of performers. They are full of noise. But I am listening for this. I am listening, he said, for the broken, for the surrendered. That melody, he said, is worship, not the performance, the surrender. The song of the Lamb, not the song of the self. I understood. I just cried. I cried for all the time I wasted. I want to stay here, I said. I want to stay with you. I can't go back. I looked at him, so ashamed. I can't go back. I can't sing those songs again. I don't know how. Jesus smiled. It was the first time I saw him smile, and the whole universe lit up. That, he said, is why you must go back. You didn't know, but now you do. I'm not finished with you, Melody. Your real work, it's just beginning. Go back, he said, and sing a new song. Teach them to trade the stage for the altar. Teach them the song of the Lamb. I don't know if I'm strong enough, I said. He put his hand on my heart, and the music, his music, it filled me. It felt like fire, a good fire, a clean fire. You are not, he said, but I am. Now go. He didn't push me. He just let go. And I felt myself falling. The light, the music, it started to fade. No, I screamed. No, I want to stay. Please don't make me go. It was the worst pain, leaving him. It was tearing my soul apart. Everything went black again. And then pain. Oh God, the pain. My chest, it felt like it was on fire, like a truck was parked on it. I gasped. And my lungs, they burned. The silence, the beautiful, holy silence, was gone. It was replaced by beeping, a loud, awful, steady beep, 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 and screaming. She's back, she's back. We have a pulse. My eyes, I tried to open them. The lights, they were blinding. They were fluorescent. They were ugly. I saw a face, a man in a white coat. He was shining a light in my eye. Melody? Melody, can you hear me? Squeeze my hand. I looked to my side. I saw Ben, my husband. His face, it was white. He was pale. He looked terrified. His eyes were red. Ben, I whispered. It hurt to talk. My throat was raw. Oh my God, Melody, he just collapsed. He fell on my bed, his head on my chest, sobbing. You were gone, he cried. You were gone for 12 minutes. 12 minutes, a nurse said. Doctor, I timed it at 14. The doctor, he looked baffled. You had a massive subarachnoid hemorrhage, an aneurysm. He looked at my chart. He looked at me. You shouldn't be talking, he said. You shouldn't be awake. You should be dead or gone. I looked at Ben. My heart was breaking. Ben, I whispered. He looked up. Ben, I said, stop the album. What? He said. He couldn't understand. Stop the music, I cried. It's all wrong. That was almost 2 years ago. I did not go back to Radiant Life. We lost the job. We lost the house. We lost a lot of friends. People think I'm crazy. They said I had a breakdown, that the trauma got to me. Maybe, but I've never felt more sane. We have a small group. We meet in our living room, my husband, my kids, a few other families. There's no stage. There's no fog machine. There's no performance. Sometimes we just sit in the quiet. Sometimes we just whisper, Jesus, have mercy. I came back to tell you one thing. I came back to tell you, God, He is not impressed. He's not impressed by our lights. He's not impressed by our buildings. He's not impressed by our bands or our streaming numbers. He is listening for one thing, your heart, a broken and a surrendered heart. That is the only song He wants to hear. So I have to ask you, when you sing, who are you singing for? Are you worshiping the feeling? Are you worshiping the music? Are you worshiping yourself? Or are you worshiping Him? Because I saw where the other road leads and the music on that road, it sounds a lot like the music we call worship. Please, don't wait. Don't wait for your heart to stop. Just give Him the real thing. It's all He's ever wanted.